Hey, Goddesses and Adoni, thank you so much for deciding to tune in to our very first audio seminar of the fall session of WOW and War United. It is my goal to make this program even easier and faster for you. One call, inspiration, focused effort, and incredible incentives. Free toy in January, anyone? How about Hawaii? That's right, we're giving away a free trip to Hawaii to one lucky warrior who participates fully in these programs. I know one person is going to be really happy at the January meeting when I pull their name. So I know that a lot of you are still riding high on the energy that we created at Golden Circle in the September meeting. And for those of you that weren't there, the video recording is coming. It's being edited right now, and we hope to get that in your hands soon. And as a side note, the flyers are all uploaded into the WOW page in the photo albums area. So the flyers, along with the new social media posts for booking, selling, and recruiting, they're all there. And I hope that you've joined the WOW and War pages so that you can stay connected and in the know. You know, it's not every day that you clear the decks and focus on your business for 30 minutes. So please, have a new notebook and a new pen, open to a fresh page. Tonight there will be some soul searching and some journaling. I want you to take the time right now to start formulating your success plan for these final months of 2016. If you're willing to get clear about what it is you really, really want, and then back that up with a belief that you deserve it and can have it, then and only then can you get out there and earn it. I'd like to acknowledge all of you for being the types of goddesses and Adoni that are committed to take the time to be here, to benefit yourself, which actually rolls to your hostesses and your customers. They'll absorb all of the great energy that we'll create here in this community. I love that you're the kind of person who chooses to make the time to learn to become more skillful and resourceful. That's what great business owners do. So there are code words throughout this call, so listen carefully. The code words let us know that you're here to go towards those incredible spoils of war. And your first code word is my, M-Y. Your first code word is my. So set your intention right now to open your mind and learn. This is your time. So close out of your Facebook page. I know that's super challenging. Shut off your notifications just for 30 minutes. You deserve this time to focus and leave the distractions behind you. And if you don't, well, you won't absorb the information. It's that simple. If you're going to invest the time to be present, be present. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce tonight's guest speaker to you. Sue Guiher has spent over 20 years working in marketing and sales, helping individuals and organizations create programs which work. She understands the value of time and the exact steps you need to take when creating and growing a business so that you can create a business that you're in control of and not one that is in control of you. So here she is, a woman who wants to help you become stronger and more powerful and more profitable than ever before. Get your notebooks ready. Open to that clean page. Goddesses and Adoni, here is my gift to you, a session with Sue Guiher. Sue, they're all yours.
Hi, Athena's Goddesses and Adoni. I am so excited to be working and playing with you again this fall. I am Sue Guiher with Thrive for Success, and I've had the pleasure of meeting many of you, and because I've been able to participate with Jennifer and Athena's on several different projects, and we are collaborating again to bring you the WOW and War Warriors Unite and Step into Greatness program this fall. Now, I know Jennifer explained all the amazing things that are coming to you by just participating in this program, and I am hoping to share with you tips, tools, strategies, and a bit of inspiration over the next several weeks so that you will end this year on fire. Let's really do it the end of 2016 and head into 2017 on fire, successful, confident, and pointed in the right direction. Now, some of you might be doing just great. You're on track. You've worked diligently through the summer. Your business is doing well. And I still want you to jump in and let's expand that for you. Let's grow your team even bigger. Let's really create wealth for you through participation. Let's expand those goals. And some of you might have gone maybe a little off track. Some of you on purpose. Some of you by mistake. Time does fly by really fast, especially over the summer. But some of you might have decided to take the summer off to spend on vacations or with family and friends. And that's okay too. You're in the right spot. This is the time to get back on track, to really focus on creating wealth for yourself, to creating a team that supports you and that you support, that strong team that you just can grow so that your business grows and is stronger. And again, as I said, heading into 2017, fully in control and feeling good. There's all those amazing prizes that you heard about. You guys are lucky. Jennifer gives you and supports you in amazing ways. So over the next 6 weeks, we're going to be talking about setting goals, planning for your success. What happens when life gets in your way? Well, you know what? Life is part of the way. Also, we're going to talk about how to be consistent. Anybody have trouble with knowing your numbers? We're going to talk about that. How to really look at the results for your business. How to manage and plan around time. We've got a lot of great tools that are coming to you and ideas coming to you this fall. I want to kick this off by helping you really plan out. The most successful people make a plan. And we're going to talk more about that even next week. But they really visualize, and it's time for you to take a look inside and say, what do I want for me and my family? And all of your goals should come from that. I always say, and many of you know I do a lot of values-based work, that when you connect to your why, not just why you're doing this business, but why you're doing everything in your life, really understanding that by setting your intentions and creating your visualization of what you want, you are fully in control with making it happen. Not anyone else, not everyone around you, but you. When you decide to start a business, oftentimes there's a lot of decisions you need to make, kind of sacrifices you might need to make, changes in mindset that you need to make, and sometimes it's hard to take a look inside. But that's what we're going to start out with today, is imagine. So right now it's the middle of September, and you know as well as I know that soon it's going to be the end of the year. You're going to blink, it's going to be the end of the year. And right now you have a choice to how you want to feel at the end of the year. Do you want to feel like you looked back and you wasted this fall, that you didn't get back on track or stay on track early enough? Or do you want to look back and it's December 31st and wow, look what I accomplished over the last 3.5 months. Look what I put into place. Look at how my holiday season went and how when the ball drops in 2017, I'm set up for success moving into 2017. So I want you to take a moment, pull up that piece of paper that I know that you have, and imagine, I want you to write December 31st, 2016. And I'm just going to give you about 3 minutes. You can expand upon this later. But I want you to take a moment and imagine that what it's like to know that your business feels rock solid, that it's successful, that if you have done the sales that you've wanted to do, you've sold 6,000 SV between now and the end of December. What would that do for you, your family, and your business? So your sales volume was 6K. And you brought in 5 people to your team. What would that do for you? Don't worry about how you're doing it. We're going to teach you that later, and you've gotten a lot of information, and your leaders will help you with that, and I will help you with that. I just want you to sit and imagine that you've met your goals. How do you feel? Are you happier? What has meant reaching those goals? What has that meant for you? What have you been able to do? And I want you to write it with this phrase: I'm so happy that I met my goals because. And I want you to take I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes to really write out what that has meant for you. It's the end of December. Write it as if. We're fast forwarding 3.5 months, and you've done it. You've achieved what you set out to achieve. So take another 2 minutes and write that down for yourself. For those of you who might be a little stuck, and maybe none of you are, but if you are, just break it down a little bit. What does it feel heading into 2017, knowing that you've set yourself up for success? Take another minute. All right. So in order to get you to that place, and if you didn't finish, take a moment after this call and really sit with that. Add to that. Think about, maybe you put all of the money that you earned into a bank account. Maybe you were able to pay off your debts. Maybe you're planning for a great vacation for your family or yourself or just with friends. Maybe you were able to have a holiday season without worry. Maybe you're excited about all the new team members that have been brought into your group and that you're excited to help them and their businesses grow because you know what a difference it's made for you and that it can make for others. So now your mind might have gone to, yeah, and how do I get there? You get there in several ways. One is being very intentional. What I mean by intentional means that you understand that you and only you are in control of your success. You might want to put it external, but I don't have support from this person, or I have so many issues going on here, and I hear you. I'm a busy mom of 3. I've got a husband and a dog and multiple things that I do. I own my own business. Started when my oldest son was 3 months old. He's now 17. I know and share all the things that you've talked about. Gone through sick parents, family members, my own illnesses. So I hear you. And I'm not saying that building a business is easy. It's not. But it can be simple steps if you're taking small steps forward every day and you're doing them with focused intention. You have to choose to be successful. Today is all about choosing. You ask, how am I going to get there to the end of the year? You're going to make a choice. Every morning I make up a choice to get up very early. For those of you who know my story, you know I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I did that this morning. In fact, even a little earlier. I choose to get up early. I have a hot tub, luckily, and I choose to go there. And I set my day up. I don't go through to-dos or anything else. I just look ahead and say, what do I have going on today? And how do I want to feel at the end of today? How do I want to experience the people that I interact with, the work that I do? And I do what I call set intentions. Some of you may have heard of this, and maybe you do this for yourself. I invite everyone to do this. Before you get out of bed, whatever time that is, take a moment and ask yourself, how do I intend to experience this day? How do I want to feel at the end of the day? In my mind, I do a quick leap to the end of the day and say, at the end of this day, how did I want to feel and experience it? I've never said, I want to experience this day being overwhelmed, or I want to experience this day being frustrated, or I want to experience this day being distracted. No. Instead, I'm connected, I'm productive. Maybe I decide I want to have some fun. Maybe I want to feel pampered, and so I put things in my day to make me feel that way. And then throughout the day, I check in. If my day was expected to feel connected, do I feel connected? If not, what am I going to do in that moment to feel more connected, either to myself or to others around me? You have the choice to make changes in the moment always. So, how does that connect to goal setting and what we're talking about in terms of reaching what you want to get out of WOW and WAR? How does that relate? It relates because you then get to set your intentions around how do you want to feel when you make calls, when you follow up with people. Do you want to feel nervous and upset or frustrated? No, you're not going to say that. Or do you want to feel connected to the person on the other line? So that before you pick up the phone, you've put that smile on your voice, or you thought about, if I want to feel connected to this person on the other end of the line, how do I make them feel connected to me? And you make a change in how you pick up the phone or how you follow up. If you want to feel productive, you're not going to spend the whole day doing things that take you away from your business. You do things that are productive in your business. So I'm going to share with you, and we're going to talk more and more about it, the way that goals fail. Often we always talk about, these things work, but I always like to take it the other way. And let's look at things that do work for you, and then what might not be working yet, and flip it around. So if you think about when you've set goals, take a moment and say, what's really worked for you? Has it worked that you have set time aside every morning, first thing in the morning, to work on it? That will help fill your intentions. Has it worked that you have a buddy? We're going to talk about the power of accountability. Has it worked for you that you do your work on certain nights? Maybe nights are better for you because that fits better with your schedule, your family, or other things that you have going on with your life. think about what's really worked for you. I want you to start there. And then we're going to talk about, now you know what's worked, think about what's made it work. Maybe you have a schedule that really worked for you, and somehow it was worked for your family, it worked for your schedule, and somehow you got away from it. That's an easy fix. Go back to it. Maybe it's that when you made phone calls on Tuesday mornings, you had that open. Maybe Tuesday mornings aren't open anymore, but Thursday mornings are. It was the fact that what worked was the fact that you had the time, that there was a block of time that was open. So just find another block of time that's open. Maybe what worked is that you had a group of people who were really supportive of you. And somehow you've not asked for help recently, or not been connecting with them. So go back to connecting with them. I know that Athena's has a strong network of people who support each other. Having a mentor is one of the number one reasons that people succeed. The most successful people all have mentors. All of them. And they ask for help. I talked to you about that. I'm going to go through some of the ways that your goals can fail. And that's the first one I want to talk to you about, is hanging around with the wrong crowd. Surrounding yourself with people who don't support you. Maybe sometimes it's our own family. I hate to say that, but at times our family can be the greatest supporters. And because they love us and want to protect us, sometimes they can also be the ones that put doubt in our minds. So you want to look in your network. Who are you hanging out with on a daily basis? Here's an interesting thing to do. Write down, and I would say your kids probably don't count, because they might be supportive and you might do things for them, but really people that can act as mentors. And I want you to write down the last 6 people that you interacted with, that you have a close relationship. It doesn't have to be that close, but just people that you interacted with, not the sales clerk at the grocery store, but people that you had a conversation with, that you actually had a meaningful interaction with. And look at those 6 people. Were they supportive of you? Do they help you in your goals, to reach your goals, and do they cheer you on in your success? And let's go a little deeper. Who are the 6 people you most hang out with? And same question. Are they raising you up, supporting you, helping you? Or are they tearing you down? Your goals succeed only when you are hanging around with the right people. Otherwise, you lose motivation. You start listening to people who will pull you down. Here's a crazy point, crazy idea. And I hear this from my clients all the time. Oftentimes, we ask advice of people who know nothing. And I'll say that again, nothing about the topic we want advice on. Now, this might be an extreme, but maybe you're getting your hair cut, and all of a sudden, what do you think of this idea? And the hairdresser, who may or may not know anything about your business, marketing, creating success, she might, but generally not. And I'm not saying anything against hairdressers. I'm just pulling that out as an example. And she gives you her opinion, or his opinion. It may or may not be good advice, but we somehow take it on as, well, my hairdresser said, instead of what my mentor said. Don't ask people who either have no invested interest in your success or just don't know. Surround yourself with people who are helpful and will help you. Now, I'm going to throw a code word in here, in the middle here. So I'm going to throw in the code word greatness. So that's one of your code words, greatness. Now, here's the other thing that happens with goals, is that goals without accountability oftentimes are just wishes, dreams. So if you're setting your goals and you are not having anyone accountable to them, then it's not really going to help you much. You need to set up a system of accountability, either with one of your mentors or by coming on these calls every week, by sharing what you're doing within your groups and your forums. You know, because we set a goal and then we go, you know what? Life got in the way. I hear that all the time. Life got in the way. Actually, your business and your life are part of the same. Your business is part of your life. But we allowed things to get in the way. And again, I shared, I have 3 kids. I totally understand that things can distract you if you let them. Keeping ourselves self-accountable is really hard because we let ourselves slide. We let ourselves change the goal. You know, I said I was going to make 5 calls today, but I really only had time for 2, so it's okay. My goal is to do 2. Instead of making the time to do 5, or the next day making sure that you did 8 so that you're caught up. Being accountable will help you reach, and it again is your choice of who and how you're going to be accountable. But those who want to be, in December 31st, filled with success, will choose partners who will lovingly support and call you on your excuses. Having a supportive partner to say to you, hey, what are you doing? You always want to set a deadline. Because in our mind, so that's why setting goals and having deadlines. I'm going to do X number of calls. I'm going to achieve this many recruiting by this time. That's why you have a deadline of December 31st for this. Because if you don't create deadlines, and so I would break this up. We're at the middle of September. So what's your deadline for what you want to achieve by September 30th? What's your deadline that you want to achieve by October, middle of October, and so on throughout? Where do you want to be by Thanksgiving? Because by setting those deadlines, you're also setting targets for yourself. You're setting reminders of what you want to achieve and that there is an end in mind. Otherwise, our brain will just expand. If any of you have ever worked out, trainers will tell you, we're going to do 10. So then your brain can focus on getting to 10. If you were to say, we're going to do as many as your body can do, most of you would only go less than 10. Or if you got to 10, it would feel much harder than if you had a 10 to focus on. Deadlines make people twice. Those that set deadlines are twice as effective as those that don't. So when you set your goals, and I want all of you at the end of this call, you've been given goals. You've been given sales volume goals. You've been given recruiting goals, and then we're going to also teach you how to break those down. But look at your schedule and figure out for yourself, what are the deadlines? When you set that goal, you need to make the decision that you're going to make a change. And the last thing I'm going to talk to you about tonight is expectations. You just talked about setting intentions, but expectations. So if you've taken the summer off or time off and you all of a sudden are expecting that you're going to go to a full schedule in the next week, you might be setting yourself up to fail. You might be able to, if you get on the phone and you start knocking on doors and you fill your schedule up, you might be able to in the next week have a full schedule, but for most of you, you won't. And if you set that up as an expectation and then you don't reach it, you will feel worse than if you hadn't set any goals whatsoever. When you set unrealistic expectations, you're literally setting yourself up to fail. It's almost like I said, I who don't run, you know what? I'm going to run a marathon in 2 weeks. All of a sudden, I'm going to go from not able to run a mile to running 26. That's just crazy talk. Physically not able to do that. Well, same thing for us. You can't set yourself from wherever you are today to something that is so far reached. That's what some people do. So I invite you to start taking the baby steps that you need to take. Set expectations. Expand them a little bit, so when you feel really uncomfortable, that'll be easy to do. Then expand your comfort zone a little bit. And if you have been on track, your expectations just need to stay consistent. And same thing, expand them a little bit. I'm going to continue to stay on track, and maybe I'm going to add an extra person into my team that I hadn't anticipated. Maybe you're focusing on recruiting. Maybe your sales are where you want them to be. Always can expand a little bit, but maybe we're now going to focus on recruiting. Both together are what are going to create that powerful success for you. So again, I am ecstatic to be coming to you this fall in the Warriors and Wow, the Wow and War Warriors United Step into Greatness for your success. I look forward to bringing you these calls every week throughout the fall and listening to and watching you create what you want for yourself. Until next week, make it a great one.
Thanks, Sue. Like I said, it's not every day that we take time to really envision what we want for the future. I hope that you took the time to write down what it is you want and how you want to feel on January 1st as a result of your efforts in September, October, November, and December. And is anyone out there brave enough to share on the WOW page about your sales goal or in the WAR page about your recruiting goals? I'd really love to see what you have in store for yourself. So I can be your cheerleader, so we can all be your cheerleaders. It's now time for me to give everyone on the call a chance to win a new Speedway. Oh yeah, the Speedway. You can put it in your demo, you can put it in your stock, you can put it right between your thighs. Whatever you want, it'll be yours if you win it. How do you win it? Share a comment with your aha moment by midnight tonight, and you'll be entered to win a free Speedway. Yes, your aha moment will go right into that Google Doc, and we'll be picking a lucky winner tomorrow morning. Okay, so let me give you those final code words and instructions to submit them. So you'll fill out your Google Doc survey that was included in the email that you received that had this call link in it. Share your aha moment. I want to know what you thought of this call. You can find the Google Doc submission form in the email, like I said, and it's also posted in the WOW and War Facebook groups. So click on the link, fill it out completely, and you only have to fill out one form for both programs. That's pretty cool, huh? This will be counted as proof that you were here for your Spoils of War and will enter you to win the free item, that Speedway. You must fill out the form by midnight on Warrior Wednesday in order to get entered to win that free Speedway. If you can't listen by midnight on Wednesday, that's fine. You have until 11:59 p.m. on Friday, September 16th, to complete and submit the Google Doc survey. And by submitting that information, you'll receive credit for calling in. So here's the final code word that you've been waiting so patiently for, and it's SHINES, SHINES. Your final code word is SHINES. Warriors, we are on a path to greatness together. If you would feel more supported if you had an accountability partner, head on over to the appropriate Facebook community and seek one out. It's always more fun to have someone cheering you on or kicking your butt. Thank you, Sue Guiher, and to all of you who listened. Sue will be back here next Wednesday with her next inspiring call. Until then, I'll see you on our Facebook community pages, and I look forward to reading your aha moments. These next few months together, they're going to be filled with passion, positivity, and purpose. Whatever it was that you wrote down as your vision for the end of the year, I want that for you. And the journey towards it begins right now. Thanks for listening, and Goddess bless.